Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Tom, one of the club admins here of the Suburban Detroit Nerf Club. Today we're going to go over my EndWar loadout, what worked for me, what didn't, and what I wish I had with me. So let's hop right into that. First, let's go over my primary. So, for EndWar, my intended primary had been Scarlet, a heavily modified Stampede created by Valor Lionheart. So first off, this thing is running out of 3S, and I had only brought two 3S's with me. One of which was for my buddy who was running a Demolisher, which needed a 3S battery for it. And so at FoamCon, I brought the 3S and another 2S LiPo with me to just put in this and fire off some pot shots and have fun with it. That's what the plan was. I ended up putting down the LiPo safe for 5 minutes while I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, my LiPos were gone. So because of that, I only had one 3S, which my buddy's Demolisher needed. So instead of running Scarlet, which I'd intended to for months, I ended up running my backup Strife. So this Strife has an aluminum worker cage in it, aluminum worker wheels, Michelle 2.0s, one of their, at the time, new 2S LiPo counters, and at the time a different battery door, but battery doors are battery doors, and a worker stock, which now has a Greenhouse Gear sticker on it, along with a 1-point sling. These slings are amazing. I just picked them up off eBay. They work great, they get the job done. I love them. Anyway, this Strife hitting about 110 to 120, so EndWar limit. And what I ended up doing is, after the 2S got stolen, which had intended to fit this Strife with a stock battery door, one of the guys I was rooming with was nice enough to give me one of his battery covers. So because of that, I was able to run this Strife without needing to duct tape it to the stock, which we ended up having to do with the Demolisher, just because the battery that I had was maybe this big, so I don't know, 4 inches, but just a really, really big battery. This Strife here, I had no problems whatsoever with it. I would give it pros and cons, but I never really ran into a con with it. It did its job. It did its job well. Got plenty of zombie tags, got me to a final stand. So yeah, the Strife worked out great. Would have loved to have run Scarlet. I ended up running it a few times during the 5v5 events and did fairly well with it. Rate of fire's consistent. If you guys want, I can give a full video about Scarlet and all the upgrades that are coming along for her. So next bit I'm going to talk about is my tactical vest. So this isn't anything special. I picked it up from an army surplus store. This has pretty much everything I ran on at EndWar, except for a dump pouch I had on this side here. So for this, it had a dump pouch, this admin pouch here, which is honestly one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. I had a notepad in here. I had a Sharpie, a pen, and a screwdriver in here. So that's pretty much ready for whatever I needed. I had my ID along with other identification in here just in case the issue arose and I needed to have it, along with a map pouch in here. Maps weren't as big as I was hoping, but I guess it's better to have more room than not enough room. It's great, it came with Velcro on the front, so I was able to pick up one of our SDNC patches from one of our members who was gracious enough to make these for us, along with one of the original Blaster Core patches from John of Blaster Core. So, admin pouch was amazing. I loved it. The dump pouch, however, wasn't quite deep enough for the 18s I was running. So if I was running, like legitimately running with them, they would fall out at times, so never really worked, I guess. Now, I never needed to run at EndWar because we were running pretty slow, just as our squad. So I never really needed it. And plus, I never really until final stand, I never went through more than like 2 mags at a time. So I never really needed to use the dump pouch, but when I did need it, it kind of fell short. And plus, the most I could fit in there is like 5 mags. If you get any more than that, it just doesn't really work out. So, hindsight, I would have gotten a bigger dump pouch or just made my own, honestly. I think that Blaster Parts came out with some new 18s, so I might give those a check out. This pouch here is kind of my junk drawer of sorts. So at EndWar I was running as a medic, so this ended up being my med kit. I would go and resupply, just grab a bunch of crap, throw in here. But on top of that, I'd also keep dossiers that we found in there, and just little knickknacks that I didn't feel like putting into my backpack. But overall, I'm happy with the vest. I could have run without it, could have done with it. It's kind of impartial in my opinion. At EndWar I ended up running these shorts here. I'd intended to wear a pair of joggers. I ran it for the first mission and then realized that it was way too hot to do that. It wasn't going to work out. These shorts here are from where I work. They are water wicking and quick dry, so if they do get wet, they dry very fast. They are an 8-inch short, so they come up just above my knee, which gave me a lot of mobility. Overall, the shorts were fantastic. I didn't even plan on using them, but they worked out great. Shirt-wise, I wore a long sleeve moisture wicking shirt that I had the sleeves rolled up on. That was just nice because it meant I didn't have to slather myself up in sunscreen all the time. I ended up getting a definite farmer's tan from basically here down because of it, but it worked out great. I'm happy with it. Got soaked with sweat along with everything else, but it's very humid at EndWar for those who didn't know. Shoe-wise, I just ended up running this old pair of running shoes I had. They're worn in. They work. They're tried and true. I had no issue with them. I ended up using aviators pretty much the entire time. Sunny, so those worked out fine. Baseball cap, just to keep the hair out of my eyes, worked well. So the things that I used that I didn't really need were joggers. They were just really, really hot the entire time. And I had a pair of fingerless gloves on. They didn't really contribute that much to my overall loadout. Once again, they worked, but were they necessary? No. I could have gone without them very easily. In fact, I did end up going without them for final stand. But the real star of my loadout was this backpack. So, this isn't like a backpack that you just carry around and random crap in. Granted, it does have a pocket on the front that kept my gloves in when I didn't use them. And I had a raincoat in here. Used to be a raincoat in there, but you get the idea. And on this side here has a pocket that you can put a water bottle in. I ended up putting a speaker in it, so for slower missions when we were just dossier hunting and just scurrying around, we could play music, just like relax a little bit while we walked around and dossier hunted. But the reason on my chest rig I don't have any mag holders of any kind is because this holds 324 darts. That is 18 round mags. You can just pull them out for days. Just keep going, 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 and going until you're completely out of ammo. The most I ever went through was 5 18 round mags, so I had more than enough ammo for that entire event. The best part was, I found out that the laptop pocket in here, yeah, you kind of see it. It's the perfect size to hold a camelback. And then after that, you can just string the camelback through the earbud hole, I guess, and it works fantastic. And plus, it also gives you like a little bit of cool water on your back, so it keeps you cooled down a little bit. I ended up slapping a bunch of Velcro on this. And this, whenever I picked up a patch at EndWar, I'd put on some more Velcro, slap that boy on there. This thing worked out amazing, kept me very mobile. But I will say, when I started to run and I didn't have it completely full, the mags would start jostling around and kind of just be a bit annoying. But for what it is, the fact that I didn't have anything like in this area of my body meant that I could stay pretty mobile with my arms and stuff like that, and just be able to stay pretty maneuverable. And carrying 324 darts, that's an absurd amount of ammo for an HVZ. I think the next most someone was running on our team was like 618 mags. So the fact that I had 3 times more ammo than anyone else on our squad meant that I could just hand people off mags if need be. And overall, just the mag bag worked great. It's going to get some upgrades coming soon, so there may be a video on that coming out. I will link the original video that I used as a basis for this. It was done by Carius maybe 2 or more years ago. And I ended up showing it to him at EndWar. He thought it was pretty neat, so worked out pretty well. Definitely need some upgrades going on. I ended up epoxying on this strap that I cut off of a worker's belt, just so I'd get some like a little bit more support here and just keep it from jostling around so much. Definitely need to sew that on, and I need to clean up the hole where I pull the mags out of. But other than that, works great. I highly recommend it. I spent maybe 20 bucks on it on Amazon. So if I find it, I'll put the link in the description below too. Last but not least, we're going to go over sidearms, darts, and what I wish I had at EndWar. So the sidearm that I've been using for most of EndWar was this double strike here. Only a spring spacer in here, along with this cosmetic muzzle. Got maybe like 80 FPS, which for a double strike is pretty decent. So I never ended up drawing it the entire HVZ. I brought it for the first few missions we did, and then during final stand, I thought to myself, I never used it, so I don't need it now. And then one of the magazines I was using was having issues with its spring, and ended up getting tagged out because of it. So if I had those 1 or 2 extra shots with the double strike, might have kept me alive a few more seconds. Because when it really came down to it, we were pretty cornered in that courtyard. We were going to die either way. So, like, I'm happy with how long we made it. Dart-wise, I was using some cheap AccuFakes I got off eBay for 50 bucks for like 2 grand. I ended up bringing like 4,000 darts because I ordered too many. But better to have too many than not enough still. But yeah, these were just AccuFakes. Foam's pretty high quality. I don't have really any issues with them. They worked well. They did their job. But, so, double strike didn't really do that much because I didn't really have a place to hold it at all, other than just like tucking it into my pants or something like that. So after EndWar, probably the other day, I decided to make this. It's just a side strike, painted up, put a better spring in it. No, it does its job. Getting probably 90 FPS. I still have to chrono it, but works well, does its job. I like that it comes with a holster. Probably would have put this probably on the small of that back, so I could just take it out, fire off a shot. But when it came down to it, I would have liked to have something more like this, or get an actual holster for the double strike. I just never really had the time to do so. And in hindsight, I should have brought more 3S batteries because I would have loved to run Scarlet. That's been probably my favorite blaster. Probably the best investment I made in Nerf so far is that blaster. I was a little bummed I didn't get to use it, but overall, EndWar was fun. I had a lot of fun running with Jang. A lot of fun dying with Jang. For those that don't know, if you look in the video that's now a meme because of it, and you see him screaming, look for the guy in the army green shirt and the blue stripe, and that's me. We ended up running together for pretty much the entire time he was there. Overall, it was a pretty good time. I'm very, very happy that I went to EndWar. Wasn't sure I was going to for a while, but EndWar is definitely something I'd like to do again. Hopefully it's in Athens again, because that was only a 4-hour drive for us. So I'd be very happy if they decided to do it in Athens again. I've heard that there's mention of doing it in Georgia, but it's going to be a bit harder for us to get down there. But yeah. What? Come here. Hey. Dog. yeah, EndWar, success, had fun, good job. Rescue squad, didn't rescue anyone. In fact, 2 people probably died because of us, but not our fault. Good night, good day, good afternoon, good morning. Have a good one.